Hi, so today I'm going to talk about food. But why is food so important to health? Let me give you an analogy to explain. Supposing you went to a car showroom and you went ahead and bought a brand new car, a Mercedes, Porsche, whatever, top of the line car. And then you take it home and then you use it. But after a month, you go back to the car showroom with a lot of complaints saying, this car doesn't run properly. It stutters, it stops, it starts, it jerks. There's white fumes coming out of the tailpipe. And it is not a good drive at all. It's not smooth. It breaks down, it stops. So the car salesman is very surprised. He says, but sir, this is the top of the line car. It's not supposed to be like this. So he starts asking questions. And he can't figure out. Finally, he asks, sir, what fuel do you put inside this? And I say, kerosene. The car salesman is shocked, saying, sir, this car is supposed to run on 1993 octane fuel. How can you put kerosene? So, in the same way, what I'm trying to say, if we take so much of care about what fuel we put into the car, then shouldn't we take even more care about what fuel we put into our body? Do you know how much food passes through our bodies in a lifetime? Take a guess. 35 tons. That's a lot of food going through our digestive tracts. We're digesting it, absorbing it, it is nourishing, building, repairing our bodies. So think, if this food is not of a good quality, if it's not our body, or it's not what our body needs, if it's not what our body is designed to handle, what is the result going to be? It's going to break down frequently. Isn't that what's happening? So, what's the best fuel for our body? What is good food? There is so much conflicting information out there. Vegan diet, vegetarian diet, raw food diet, fruitarian diet, keto diet, Mediterranean diet, South Beach diet, hunter-gatherer diet. My God. And each one has its own followers and its own logic. So which one is right? Which is the one to follow? After a good amount of study, I have identified what I think is a good diet to follow. And I have been following it with my family for the past 25 years. It's helped me a great deal and helped my family too. But is it the best diet? Is it the only good diet? I can't say for sure. There may be other things, but all I can say is this is something which worked for me and it's likely to work for you as well. What I'm going to do in this series of videos is explain to you exactly what is this diet that I'm following, what it suggests we eat and what not, and more importantly, why. That will show you why I chose this diet and what's the reasoning and the logic and the data and the science behind the diet, behind the choice. Then it's up to you. You reflect on what I say, do your own research if you like, and if it makes sense to you, give it a shot for 21 days. That's all I ask. And if you stick to my recommendations to a large degree, I'm sure you'll see some good results in just 21 days, and that will convince you to keep going. And if you feel it doesn't suit you, don't like it, it's fine. Nothing much lost. Look for something else. There are so many different cuisines all over the world, so many different kinds of foods. I can't possibly identify each one and say, eat this, don't eat that, etc. So rather, let me start with some simple principles that will help you to identify if the food that you're talking about should be the mainstay of your diet or not. Please note, a very important point. I am not saying that you should only eat the foods that conform to these principles. Once in a while, you can eat something this way, that way. It's okay. But that should be the exception rather than the rule. It's not what you do once in a while that impacts your health. It's what you do every day, 3 times a day, that's what's making a difference.
The first principle is that the food should be plant-based. So I'm talking about fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, seeds, and similar products that are of plant origin, because it seems that our anatomy and physiology is best suited for this kind of food. More of this later. The second principle is food is generally better for us if it's eaten in the natural or raw form. In fact, of all the creatures in God's creation, man is the only one who sets fire to his food before eating. And we all know what fire does. It destroys. It does the same thing to food. Destroys vitamins, denatures proteins, caramelizes fats, damages enzymes. I'm not saying we should eat all our food in a raw form, but a certain good percentage should be in raw format. And the rest of it should be minimally processed or simply cooked. The third principle is whole food is always preferred to fragmented food. An apple is better than apple juice. Whole wheat bread is better than a white bread, or unpolished brown rice is better than white rice. This is because nature has put all the ingredients we need in correct proportions in the whole food. When we process the food or we refine it, we throw away the fiber and other crucial ingredients and upset the natural balance. The fourth principle is we should eat a balanced diet. Fruit may be very healthy, but living only on fruits will get us into trouble sooner or later. We should eat a variety of foods that will make sure we get all the nutrients we need to stay healthy. Some people call this a rainbow diet. I'll talk about this later. The next thing is local. We should have food which is grown locally in and around our neighborhood. There's no need to have exotic foods from faraway locations. It's a lot more expensive, and local food is better suited to ourselves. Similarly, seasonal. We should eat food in season. It's more cost effective, and also, it's more easily available and fresher, and at the same time, it suits you better. And finally, organic means grown without chemical pesticides and fertilizers. Now, this is a nice to have. It's not compulsory. I didn't have organic food for the first 15 years or so when I was following the system. But if you can get it, nothing like it. But if you can't, don't bother, don't sweat it. Just do the rest of it and you'll do just fine. I will go into details of all these principles in future videos. Bye for now.